Hi everyone, I wanted to do a very quick video and I wanted to cover the travel restrictions as they relate predominantly to family members. The reason that I'm making this video is because this is one of the questions that we're getting a lot, mostly from family members who want to be reunited with their loved ones or have another purpose to come to Canada that's important. Okay, so before I dive in, I want to just set the ground of understanding, and I want to talk about three different categories and the way that this is looked at. So the first one is an immediate family member of a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. The second one is somebody who's an extended family member of a Canadian passport holder or Canadian citizen and a permanent resident. And the third one is a person that's coming to care for somebody under compassionate grounds as recognized by the Public Health Agency of Canada. Now, what are the definition of these? So, an immediate family member is the spouse of a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, a dependent child of a dependent child, a parent or step-parent, or a guardian, okay? The next category is an extended family member. Now, an extended family member has been recently extended in the definition. And this is somebody who, and I'm just going to read off a note here because these are actually a little bit more complicated, and this is where we're getting a lot of the questions. So the first one is an individual who's in an exclusive dating relationship with a person and has been in that relationship for at least 1 year and has spent time in the physical presence of the person during the course of the relationship. Okay, so if it's an online relationship, they're not going to allow that stuff to go through. However, if it's a long distance relationship where you've maybe started it up online and then continued on that and met in person and it's been a continual exclusive relationship, then you might have a shot at that. The second one is a dependent child of a person in an exclusive relationship. So if you're dating somebody and they have a dependent child, that person can be included on the application as well. A child of the person, of the spouse or common law partner, or the person in an exclusive dating relationship. So I think that pretty much we've covered that one. A dependent child of a child, okay? So basically a grandchild. So if you have a dependent and there's a grandchild that's in there, then you can actually include them in the application. A sibling, half-sibling, step-sibling of the person or the person's spouse or common law partner. Okay, so that basically opens that up quite a bit right there. A grandparent of the person or the person's spouse or common law partner. Okay, so we all know what a grandparent is. And extended family members departing from the US. Okay, so that's basically what an extended family member is under the current definition. Now, there's a few other things that you need to understand as well. So immediate and extended family members must be staying for a minimum of 15 days. All right, so they want to see that you can come in for 15 days and you're going to quarantine and do all of that. There is a way that it actually can be deemed an essential purpose and they can stay less time. However, generally what they're looking for is they want you to come in, there's going to be some quarantine provisions, and then you're going to have to stay, and then they want to see you stay here longer than 15 days. Okay. On that note, you need to have a quarantine plan. Now, a quarantine plan is something that's going to be needed when you're actually meeting with the CBSA officer. They want to make sure that you have a place where you can stay and you can quarantine, and you're going to have somebody help you bring groceries, or there's a plan in place for that. Obviously, you have the place to stay, the money to support that, a logical plan. This all needs to be worked out in advance. Okay, so we're doing a lot of these days. There is a bit of a format that we've been using, and I would suggest that you treat this very seriously, as if your quarantine plan is not going to work out well or be accepted, then potentially you could be going home. Okay, remember, it's always up to the officer if they're going to admit you or not at the border, and they have a lot of discretion to be able to do that, especially when it's a public health issue. Okay. Lastly, you must show that you're eligible and admissible for travel. So obviously if you need an ETA or a TRV, and you also need to complete a form. It's called the IMM 0006. Now this form is basically a declaration form that shows the proof of family relationship, and this is something that you're going to need to do as well. Okay, so Hopefully this covers a little bit more about the travel restrictions as they relate to family members and people that are coming in on compassionate grounds. I can tell you we've done more than a few of these recently, and they are tricky and they are open to a lot of interpretation at the border, so you need to be prepared for this stuff. There are a few more exemptions in terms of essential workers and students and all of this stuff, but again, that gets a little bit more complicated and I'm not going to cover it in this video because what we're really focusing a lot on, and a lot of the questions that we're fielding these days are for people that are family members or in a relationship and they want to reunite with their loved one. Okay, so hopefully that helps out a little bit. I hope that everybody's staying safe, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Maple Immigration. You can catch us online, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for this channel. All right, hope you're well. Have a great day.